Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jacek Sputnik here, and today we are going to talk about editing your vacation photos. And right out of the gate, I will tell you we will talk about two scenarios. One scenario is more advanced, not very advanced, but more advanced, so we shoot in RAW format and we develop pictures manually. And second scenario is you shoot in JPEG and you use automatic tools. In this case, I'll be using Adobe products. In this case, it's Adobe Bridge and Camera Raw, but it will work absolutely the same in Lightroom. You can also use Capture One and some free software there like Raw Therapy or Darkroom, which is basically very similar. So all the sliders, all the settings you can find there in those programs, in the software, is very similar. Okay, now let's jump right into my computer here, and what we will be looking at are some pictures that I took with Canon G7X Mark III. I was testing this camera 2 months ago. I still didn't finish the review, but doesn't matter. So it's a popular choice for traveling photographers, for travelers that want to take some better pictures than with their smartphones. So I have some tosta mista, like Portuguese toast, Portuguese coast, selfie, some boat, my friend taking photos, and Zambujeira do Mar, beautiful place in southern Portugal. So basically some basic shots taken with G7X, and I'll show you how to make them look really better. So at the beginning, maybe let's focus on the toast. And as you can see, the blurriness of background is nice, the exposure is nice, so you could be pretty much satisfied with this photo. But take a look at the simple steps, how dramatic the improvement will be. So first of all, shadows always up. More details in shadows, I just love it. I usually drag highlights down, but in this case there's not much highlights that I'm afraid of being burned out. So in this case I'll just drag contrast up, I'll drag exposure up. That's way too much, just a little bit, and this already looks way better than it did before. But take a look at those steps that I want to show you right now, which is whites up, so more light, more brightness in the picture. It doesn't destroy, it's far from destroying the highlights, so it's good. Now let's take vibrance up, a little bit of saturation, not too much. I don't like too much saturation because it looks unnatural, so right about here. And one of my favorite sliders that I don't like to overdo, but I like to have it, it's very handy, I like to use it a little bit, it's clarity. So this is how it looks, and with clarity I still feel that we could drag shadows a little bit up here, and we can get a little bit more of exposure up to 35, plus 35. So this is before and this is after. So already like super simple steps, already dramatic improvement. But let's take a look at curves, and this is my pro tip that I usually do. Like you can even like skip looking at the picture, it pretty much always works. So highlights goes down to -20, -15, let's say. Lights go up to +15 or 13. It doesn't have to be very precise. And shadows, not darks, but shadows, the deep shadows, I always like to drag them down. It will always look better. You look, this is just a slight difference here. When you look at the bread, maybe I'll drag it dramatically, but it brings a lot of life to your picture. So this is before, this is raw, straight out of the camera, and this is after. It is way better. So obviously you can do a lot with these pictures and with those pictures, and I would definitely go to Photoshop and still process those photos a little bit more. And soon on my channel I'll be working on full camera roll to Adobe to Photoshop tutorial for photographers, where for free I will share all my experience. I'm really planning to do that. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned to my channel. But now let's move to the next picture. So this is it when it comes to basics of processing your vacation photos. For example, let's take this boat here. I like this shot. It's a pretty cool shot of Feragudo in southern Portugal, but it obviously lacks some life here. So shadows up, maybe even a little bit more, not too much. I don't like this too HDR-ish look. Highlights down because of those walls here. I don't want them to be burned out. I want some contrast here, definitely more contrast will do. We want some more exposure, like the same thing like we did with the picture of the toast. Then clarity, saturation, vibrance, sorry, in this case, saturation, and look, before and after. Look, in just, I don't know, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, we have dramatic improvement. But now, again, pro tip, curve, highlights down, lights up, shadows down, and maybe a little bit more of lights here. Let's not be afraid of that. Highlights, we can drag it down, and we have a nice photo here. What I would do here, a little bit of more advanced knowledge here, I would increase the temperature. To me, the picture is too blue. Look, I'm increasing to standard 550 Kelvin, and it looks way better already. But now I see this yellowish cast here, so I would go to color mixer and drag yellows down to make it look a little bit more art like, and maybe yellows a little bit up in luminance. So saturation of yellows down, luminance of yellows up, and it looks, you gotta say, much better right now. So we can make it even warmer, and we can add a little bit of vibrance to bring some life back to this picture, and maybe I would like a little bit more of exposure. Ta-da! It's not complete. I would still work on it. I would probably work a little bit on the sky and maybe on the geometry of the picture, but already with those simple steps, look at the difference. Amazing, amazing difference. And it took us like really like just a couple of minutes. But now let's go to second scenario. Let's say you are lazy, you don't have ambitions to have, like, I don't know, amazing photographs. You don't have ambitions to learn the software. You just want to have some quick fix for your photos. And here's the deal. You can shoot in JPEGs, so your camera will already put some of correction on your photos, so you have this correction built in. So you get a standard profile of your camera in the picture with some, AI corrections there. So you shoot in JPEG, and then you can use totally automatic tools. So whatever you use, is it Adobe Camera Raw, Lightroom, or you use Capture One or Skylum software, or whatever software there is, if you shoot JPEG and use automatic correction, you will always get better pictures. In this case, because Adobe is most popular, I will show you how to get this JPEG turned into something better. So it doesn't look bad, but it's an okay picture from your travels. So there's ocean, there's a bay here, there's a boat placed nicely, with rule of thirds. You have some plants in a first plane. So it's not bad, but definitely it doesn't shine. So the simple tip here is just press auto. And this is to show you that some correction is always better than no correction. And when you look at automatic settings, what it did a lot of similar stuff that I was teaching you to do with RAW. But with RAW, you have the full control. With JPEG, not a full control, but still you get some control. So look at this picture. It already looks better. So pro tip here for those who want to remember one slider only, I always, on top of automatic correction, I always add some clarity, which is very good. And the thing I don't like here, and you have to correct it somehow, is not that the horizon is not even. The horizon is like that, and you want the horizon to be straight. So you have two ways to get horizon straight. One is you go to crop tool here, and you have a straighten tool, A, straighten tool, and you just drag it from left side to the right side. So you see, it makes your horizon straight. But let's say you don't want to learn that tool, you want to trust automatic settings only. So we use automatic correction here, we use clarity slider here, so we go to geometry here, and we use upright, automatic, apply balanced perspective corrections. Let's see what it does. Ta-da! The horizon is straight. So in this kind of simple cases, it usually works flawlessly. So using only automatic tools, you already improved your photo. So this is before JPEG from the camera, so it should be right away, like, you know, ready right away from the camera, and this is after. Big difference, isn't it? So, in conclusion, processing your vacation photos, your travel photos doesn't have to be painful, doesn't have to be very time consuming. But processing photos, either JPEGs with automatic settings or RAW with automatic settings or RAW manually, doesn't take really that long, and the improvement of the quality of your photographs is dramatic. I hope you guys enjoyed it, I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please subscribe, leave thumbs up, comments below, and I see you guys in the next one.